Hi, your commish here. Welcoming you back to another exciting year of fantasy football. I'd like to welcome the 3 new teams to our league. It's all about the Crystal, Fat Boys, and Gabe Clark Likes Men. That's his real team name? That's his real team name? That's his real team name. Okay, welcome to the league, guys. Let's have an exciting, fun year. I'd like to take a moment and remember the team that we lost from last year, Jimmy Moreno's I'm Homo for Romo. Okay. Guys, I hope the trash talking will be at an all-time high this year. And no one, I mean no one, is leaving this house today until you've paid your money. Seriously. May the odds forever be in your favor. But seriously, you're not leaving unless you pay your money. Like, seriously.
I'm Dick Pickles.
And I'm Ron Tugnut.
And welcome to Merica, a fantasy football story.
League breakdown. Wow, strong words from the commissioner, Dick.
Yes, they were. And wow, what a jerk.
Yeah, that guy is just a real piece of work.
Man, I tell you, I would like to throat punch him.
I tell you what, I'd like to see his chest hair get burned off with a soldering iron.
How that guy has made it this far without being murdered, I don't know.
Well, he did win the 2012 Fantasy Football League Championship.
And I'm sure he cheated his way there.
I don't know about that. I can neither confirm nor deny, but it is out there. So.
Well, we know he is a dirty son of a gun.
Yeah. Well, moving on to last year, 2013, the league champion is Don Owens with West Jack's Witch's Titty.
Yes, Don Owens. Wow, he come out of nowhere.
He really did. You know, early on, his drafting was not very solid. I felt like there was a lot of holes in his draft, and yet somehow he pulled it together. Started out the gate 0-3.
He did. He started out terribly. I actually took him to be one of the worst in the league last year, and he surprised me, starting out 0-3 and went on to win every game thereafter.
Yeah, it was a force to be reckoned with, to be honest. And you know, he went on to win every game after and did not lose, and took it to the playoffs and ended up winning the championship against a favored opponent, Nash Toller.
Yes, he did, and he was the highly favored opponent, and it was a very, very disappointing loss for many of the fans out there. But you know, not always does the best man win in fantasy, and we know that. We've seen that time and time again. Luck wins out many times, and that's just the nature of fantasy. And we continue to play fantasy because we love it, and it brings us together.
We do.
Let's take a moment to look back on last year's fantasy.
I believe we have clips from last year's draft.
Well, let's go there now.
All right.
Is Roddy White still available?
Hey, is Ronnie White still available?
Is Ronnie White still available? I just gotta know. Is Ronnie White still available?
Is Ronnie White still available?
I don't know.
Starting defense, placing the table.
My first pick in draft, I select Aaron Hernandezson.
Wow, that Robert Gutcher can be just a complete whiny baby.
Wow, someone has too much estrogen being made in their body.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like he needs to be changed and wiped.
I tell you, I've got some extra Pampers Swaddlers at the house.
I hear you. I got 6 kids and 1 on the way.
Somebody needs to get out of the house a little more.
I hear you. Well, how about that shocking pick from Justin Young's I Ain't Nobody's Gore last year in Aaron Hernandezson?
All I have to say, Ron, is it helps to do a little bit of research before you come to a fantasy draft. There's nothing that chaps my hide worse than sitting through a fantasy football draft and you have some numbnut that drafts Aaron Hernanderson that no one's ever heard of. Come on, Justin.
Yeah, I tell you, Justin Young looked like a complete rookie out there last year, drafting. But I tell you, the most shocking one to me was Marvin Soe selecting Cam Newton and then going right back in the next round and taking Tom Brady. Wow, 2 quarterbacks back to back.
Speechless, Ron. Speechless.
Words don't describe. Well, you know, we did a little bit of reporting on the streets, and we found some public opinion. You know, we wanted to find out some questions, so we'll just kind of go over those right now. James, we're talking fantasy football today. First off, how important is fantasy football to you?
Not very.
If you did play fantasy football, who would be your #1 draft pick?
Ooh, that's a good question. Peyton Manning.
How do you think that Robert Gutcher will do in the league this year?
No.
We're talking fantasy football today with
Jeff.
Jeff, nice to meet you.
Too.
A couple quick questions for you. How important is fantasy football to you?
Very important. Got to do it.
Absolutely, every year. Got to
Yep.
do it. Got to be a part of a league. This year, who do you think is going to be your #1 draft pick?
Josh Young.
And finally, how do you think that Justin Young will do in the draft this year?
Bad.
Talking fantasy football today with
Sean.
Sean. First off, how important is fantasy football to you?
This time of the year, extremely important.
So, Sean, if you had to pick right now, who would be your #1 draft pick?
Adrian Peterson.
Final question for today is, how do you think that Alex Houston will do in the draft this year?
Alex, you? Who?
Football today with
Bob Cole.
Bob Cole. First off, how important is fantasy football to you?
I don't pay too much attention to it. I've never done it.
If you were in a league, who would you say your #1 draft pick would be?
Michael Vick.
Finally, how do you think that Joel Stuckey will finish in the league this year?
Joel Stuckey.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Is that even a question? Is this a joke?
Fantasy football today here with Terrence. First off, how important is fantasy football to you?
It's not the biggest thing, but it is, I guess, good for some people. Team building.
Would you say that it's grown over the years in popularity?
Extremely.
Yeah. If you had to pick right now your #1 draft pick, who would it be?
I'll probably say Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Last year, Don Owens won it all in our league. Do you think that he has what it takes to repeat another championship?
Probably not. Every so often somebody will win, but I don't believe he has the ability to do the same thing he did last season.
Wow, Dick. It looks like in the court of popular opinion, fantasy football is just not as important to some people as it is to others.
You got that right. Man, was I surprised.
Yeah. Looks like people had some strong opinions about some people in our league.
And some people have no clue what they're talking about. Josh Young? Who is this guy? I've looked up Josh Young, and apparently he's a convicted felon.
Yeah, he doesn't even play football.
He plays sports.
He plays the skin flute.
Yes, he does.
So, of the 3 newcomers in our league, who is most likely to leave somebody on their active roster while they're on a bye week?
Without a doubt, it's all about the crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. Grant Murray, he's a newcomer, looks to be a rookie. I don't see him really turning the corner quite yet. He's going to need a little bit of time in the league.
And help. I'm sure he'll resource outside help to get through his year.
Word on the street is he's bringing his son to the draft, and he's going to help him draft. Sounds a little shady to me.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
Who of those 3 newcomers is most likely to finish dead last in our league?
Gabe Clark likes men.
That's the real team name. Yeah, Gabe Clark. Yeah, it's real.
Ron, it is a real name.
Yep, that's what I was just told. Gabe Clark Likes Men is his real team name. And you feel like he was...
And apparently, it's true.
Yeah.
So...
Apparently, he knows very little about football. I was told he was interviewed earlier this week, and he couldn't name 3 running backs in the NFL.
So, is Gabe Clark even a man? Is the bigger question.
The jury's still out on that one.
So, there you have it. Well, that's about all the time we have for Merica, a fantasy football story.
League breakdown.
I'm Dick Pickles.
And I'm Ron Tugnut, and we wish you a very safe and successful 2014 draft. And remember,
Don't suck.
I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me. Don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick.